Hey, what's going on out there, y'all? So, I'm back with another one. This time, I'm gonna be featuring another guest on the podcast. This is actually a kid who, I met through Instagram, and just from the interactions that we had so far, he seems like a really, really genuine person. He was open to, my welcome videos that I like to send to my new subscribers. So, just real positive energy from this guy. So, he was open to jump on the podcast with me. So hopefully, we can deliver some value to you guys. And keep in mind, this is our first time having a real face-to-face conversation because we're doing it on FaceTime. But I want y'all to bear with me while I go ahead and reach out to this guy, and we'll see where it goes. Yo, yo, Jake, what's going on, man? Can you hear me?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to finally, have a chance to, sit down and talk to you, bro. How's everything over there in Austin?
Oh man, everything's going good, bro.
That's what's up,
It's
man.
all
That's
right.
what I like
That's
to
cool.
hear.
Where are you at?
I'm over here in Detroit. I actually lived in Austin for like a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I stayed like right off what's that major freeway? It was like near don't tell me, don't tell me. It was like Barwood Park. I was literally right offside of like uh, man, I forget the name of the highways, but um,
Is it like 183 or?
183. Uh, but it's another one. It's another highway over there. Cause I remember I used to go to those taco trucks, bro. I picked up like 40, 50 pounds when I lived in Austin.
For real?
Cause the taco trucks, bro, like that shit is addictive,
Mm.
man. um, it
Yeah,
was
hell,
it was right
I
by
work at
Rumburg.
I work at a,
Are you close to like Rumburg?
mm No, I'm like outside of Austin. I'm in Round Rock.
Oh yeah, see, I worked in Round Rock. What's the name? Travis County? Is that the county you're in?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
in
like
Williamson.
Williamson County. Yeah, those dudes out there, man. Like, you can't.
They are strict. They're
Very, very
crazy.
strict, bro.
Can't out nothing, bro. They'll actually take you to jail for something. Like whereas you might live in like a different county, they'll give you a ticket. Or like Williamson, they'll like take you to jail, bro. It's crazy.
Bro, I heard you can't even have like no weed. Like, if you seen with a little joint, you're going to jail. I stayed.
Yeah, bro.
I worked
Yeah.
like it was a call center near like Lewis Hanna. I think Lewis
Hmm.
Hanna and
Yeah.
183. Yeah, so like yeah, somewhere in that area. But yeah, man, I had the time of my life there, bro. I had just came out there to
Really?
just kind of just get away from Detroit, man. This it could get really boring here real fast. When you're used to seeing the same
Hmm.
things, and maybe that goes for everywhere
Yeah.
for all I know. But yeah, I said I was gonna come back because I just I really loved it. I like the environment. I like the atmosphere. I absolutely love HEB. You can't find HEB nowhere else.
It's big. Yeah.
And so like yeah,
Good
man,
job
it's,
there.
it's awesome, bro. So I know you said you're still in school. Are you like in college?
What's up?
I know you said you still in school. Are you in college?
No, I'm in high school right now. It's my
Oh,
senior
okay.
year.
Okay. All right. Hey, you yeah, yo,
Hmm.
you look a lot older than than you appear. So that's a compliment, bro. That's a compliment because obviously you have a very mature personality, man. But what kind of things are you
Thank
into?
you.
Like, what's your plans? After high school.
To be honest, man, I get this question a lot nowadays because coming out of senior year, my parents want to know, teachers want to know, counselors asking me and stuff, man. Um, I feel like there's different answers to that question, and one of them is what everyone wants to hear, which is like kind of what my more or less what my parents want to hear,
Yeah.
and teachers and all that, which is, man, I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna major in this, that, and the other,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna have the life that everybody else kind of wants for me in a way, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Wants, um, you know, they want me to get like a house and all of that, and kind of do what they did, follow in their footsteps, which isn't wrong. You
Yes.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? To me, that isn't a. Um, I don't look at that as something that's like I don't like. I don't think that that's wrong, but I don't see myself pursuing that like
For
the
sure.
same route that like they might have taken, and if that kind of makes sense. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But like, yeah. So like one answer to that I guess would be to get out of high school, go to college, do get into debt and do all that stuff. That's the one thing. And I always tell parents or grandparents, whatever they ask, like, oh, what you want to do? What do you want to do after high school? What you want to do for college? And I'm like, oh man, I'm still looking. I want to go to ACC, Austin Community College, and take a few courses and do all that. And it's like, yeah, that's the backup plan in a way. But if you were to realistically ask me if you realistically wanted it like I guess like a real answer.
Yeah,
it would definitely be.
You could give me the real. I ain't your parents.
Oh yeah. I was definitely going to. No, definitely. I want to pursue. I have a passion for modeling. Like really, I really enjoy modeling. I really enjoy anything visual arts related, poetry. I enjoy like filmmaking. I talked to one of my homies who. He's down here in Austin too. He's a really good photographer. He's worked on like commercials and shooting stuff. He's a few years older than I am, so he's got some more experience with other people. He's worked with people who have like shot commercials before. Like, hey, bro, I got ideas about making a short film. I really want to get some of my ideas out there. And I've spoken to a few people just over the internet. I mean, people that I don't really know personally. But I got really good advice from a lady named Shakira Maria. She's on Instagram. Shout out to her because I fucking love her, bro. Like she's giving me really good advice. And one of the things she told me was I had a conversation with her, and she was saying that now more than ever is a fantastic time to pursue, an entrepreneurial career in visual arts. Because of how much you can literally market yourself just off social media. You know what I mean? You can get ideas out there. You can get, if you got some good content and you got a phone, and you got a camera, and you got a whole, like, people think social media is just, post selfies, post with the kids, like, feeding the dogs and whatever. And it's like, yeah, sure. But, like, you could also say, hey, like, you could start your whole business. I mean, the opportunity is like the opportunities are endless. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
When it comes to only social media, I mean, I'm not even talking about where you can go from there. I'm talking about what you can do just on let's say Instagram
right,
as a
just
platform.
Off Instagram.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, I got I think I kind of got a little off topic, but like I don't know, man. I'm super into visual arts, and I'm super into, like I said, modeling. I write poetry, and usually what I try to do is I try to put whenever I make posts and whatever I got, like, because I got some homies who love to do photography. One of the dudes, Malin, I was telling you about, who it's funny, bro, because he shot my school pictures. I went to go take my senior pictures, and he was the dude taking pictures. And I talked to him. I was like, bro, you look young. How long have you been doing photography for? Told me, I've been doing it for, maybe 2 years or whatever. He's 19. And he was telling me, hey, bro, he handed me his card. He's just like, hey, like, I'm into doing photography. I told him I was into modeling. I was like, let's link sometime. Let's do some photo shoots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll just reach out to people and I'll say, like, hey, let's go do stuff. Let's get creative. And, I mean, as of right now, it's just kind of like, me posting on my Instagram. And anybody who does photography of me and me doing modeling or me trying to do, whatever it is, they'll post on their Instagram. We'll kind of shout each other out. Something small, nothing too big right now, but it's like I definitely have plans and I definitely have a passion that I want to pursue.
So let me ask you this, bro, because because it sounds like you really know exactly what the hell is going on out here, just off what you told me about your understanding of how powerful social media is. So let me ask you this, being in high school, it's your senior year, how the hell do you coexist with, like, your average classmates who don't fucking get it, like, who haven't figured out what to do? How do you coexist with those people? Do you, like, impose your will on them? Do you inform them what's happening, or do you just keep doing you?
Yeah. I definitely, with this kind of question, I definitely don't look at myself as above anybody because I know I'm fucking not. You know what I mean? I don't try to be like, oh, I'm more woke or I'm this.
Yes,
like I'm.
Yeah. You don't want to give off that vibe at all.
Yeah. It's toxic because I've had a lot of people try to like low bro me in a way, like be like I'm more woke than you, or and it just like ruins that kind of like connection, or that kind of like homing, like in a way, like it's kind of like, okay, bro, we could link, or you could stop, like, you know what I mean? So I don't try to look at myself as above anybody. I try to look at myself as just like I try to just let my work speak for itself. That's my main goal. Is I don't want me to be like, hey, like go look at this, or I don't want me to like have to go tell someone, hey, like you know, I want my work, I want my modeling, I want my poetry, I want, if I write short films, if I want, you know, something, acting, whatever it is that I choose to pursue, I want that work to speak for itself. I don't want to say like, hey, I'm making moves in private. Hey, like I feel like a lot of people will post like I'm being real quiet about what I'm doing. It's like you don't even need to say that.
You don't have
just
to say
make the moves.
Just make the move.
You don't have to say it. If you make the moves, if you don't post nothing on your Instagram or any social media about you going to the, just work your ass off for 3 months, and then take a before and after and let those pictures speak for themselves.
Exactly. Precisely.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. So you figured it out, bro, because that's how I operate. You know what I mean? Like, even though I understand that, you know, my family or my closest friends or like even my coworkers, like, you know, even when I'm around them, I always try to make sure I humble myself by reminding myself I'm not above these people at all. You know what I'm saying? I just simply made a decision to just try to build something for myself. I think the most unselfish thing you can do, what we're doing, is we're trying to build legacies here. And the most unselfish thing about building a legacy is that legacy lives on after you, and it could potentially feed your family long after you're gone. You know what I mean? So I had a guy ask me, he's like, Cordele, man, what made you want to really start aggressively putting out content? And I let him know it was when Nipsey Hussle passed away, bro. For a man like that, I'm not sure if you're big on the hip hop culture, but for a man like that, as conscious as Nipsey was, he was a very conscious individual. But for him to be taken out in the middle of his mission like that reminded me that
right in front of his door, if I'm not mistaken.
What's that?
I said right in front of his store, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, man, right in the middle of the business, you know, just doing what he loves. So I'm like, damn, that could be me any given day. You know what I mean? And if that day comes, do I have enough content out here where I can still impact people's lives long after I'm gone? So really, when that happened, I really just decided to you know, turn up. And really what I want to do is I just want to just make more people aware of the opportunity that's in front of them. Because I've always been like a coach or / mentor to my peers growing up as a kid, and now social media has given me the opportunity to expand who I am on a digital level. You know what I'm saying? So the internet has given me an opportunity to, you know, reach out to guys like you and speak to like-minded individuals like you. So you know, right now the journey is just really just like you said, just letting the work speak for itself. But I also want to be a voice to let people know, you know, what's possible. So I know, like you said, the best answer to give your parents is to let them know, yeah, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Or you can keep it all the way real with them and let them know that, listen, this is it now. This is it. Like, creating content is it. This is the game. Like, now that the internet is here, there's nothing like, you know, I remember 10 years ago, you was a loser if you played the game in your mom's basement, you know. But now you can make a lucrative living off playing Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for real, I was just off doing that stuff now, you know.
Millionaires out here, dude. So it's like, I get it. You know, our parents, they didn't grow up in this era. They didn't, you know, the internet is not their era. So everything that's kind of new to them, it just you typically don't sit right. You know what I mean? And I remember when I was in my senior year in high school, I was telling my parents the same thing, bro. I was telling them I'm going to college. I was afraid to tell them otherwise, but that's the thing. Your parents, they have this leverage over you, right? This societal leverage. So if you decide that you're going to do the opposite of what they say, not only do you have to deal with their backlash, but you have to deal with society's backlash. You know, they're going to make you feel like the bad guy from a moral standpoint.
Yeah.
So it's only one thing that can happen. You can't live off their funds no more. You got to live off your own funds. When you live
I was listening. Yeah, I listen to, I'm pretty sure you're probably aware of Gary V.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I was listening to one of, I don't know, he makes a bunch of Instagram videos, and one of the videos was him talking about like, okay, you don't have to. I don't remember his exact words, but it was like, you don't have to live at your parents' house. You can move out and do your own thing, but don't fucking take money from them because you're not on your own. Like you're not. If you can go and pursue your own route, but you got to live off your own funds,
For sure.
And if that means, I think he like, if that means eating just like dog shit food for a while and
Yeah.
living without cable and like wearing clothes that probably aren't Gucci and all that,
Right.
like, got to do that for a while
Hmm.
until you succeed, and then you can uh, buy all those things that you wish you did. You know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure. Absolutely, bro.
I
And
don't.
Gary, man, he's obviously, he's been a huge inspiration in my life. Um, I don't think I've ever heard a message like his before because the
Mm-hmm.
internet is still so new. So it hasn't really been anybody around to preach the power of these little devices in our pockets. So his message is a brand
Absolutely.
new message, but if you think about it, bro, and I had a screenshot I posted the other day saying that all the people that you idolized growing up, without content, they don't even exist. You wouldn't know who they are.
I see.
And so, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, if I wanted to get my message in front of people, I damn near had to be rich, right? Exactly. Who can afford a billboard, bro? Who can afford an actual television commercial or a radio ad? Average people can't really afford it. So, but now that you have social media, you can get in front of anybody in the world. And so, like, I don't even think I
Mm-hmm.
fully grasp just how powerful that ability is. And even me trying to tell my family about it. My dad, he wants to be a comedian so bad, Jake. But the dude is so insecure, like super
Mm-hmm.
insecure. He's expecting his first comedic skit to get 1 million views. That's the wrong
Mm-hmm.
mindset. I told him, look, when you start posting content, don't expect no engagement whatsoever, zero at all. Like,
Mm-hmm.
lower your expectations because it's gonna confuse you. Like, if when you see people are not really engaging, it's gonna discourage you. So, not only do I tell people with like the power of posting, you have to get over compliments and you have to get over insults. Because nobody, people are entitled to their opinions. So I'm like, yo, let them have it. Even my latest video I posted about why you should copy. I had somebody
Mm-hmm.
actually comment on the video and they told me that I sound ridiculous. Like, bro, like, why are you teaching people to copy? God made us as individuals, and I heard her point of view. It made sense. But I reminded her that why is the greatest artist of all time, Pablo Picasso, telling us that good artists borrow and great artists steal? Why is that? And I think it was Isaac Newton who said, if I've been able to see further than other men, it's because I stood on the shoulders of giants. You have to
Mm-hmm.
go off, you have to create something new, basically from what's already here, right? So I live in a
Right.
motor city. I'm here in Detroit, right? Henry Ford is our mogul. Um, Henry Ford didn't invent light bulbs. He didn't invent engines. It's a lot of things that cars are concocted that he had nothing to do with, but he had to go off those already made inventions to create. He didn't even invent the car, right? So I just say that to say, bro, like, you know, if you copy somebody's idea and put your own little creative spin on it, nobody's gonna say you copy it. They're gonna call it yours, right? So like
Right.
even the artists that we respect today, if you big on the music industry, like they just sampling shit that was cycled from back in the days and just putting their own little
Mm-hmm.
spin on it. So another advantage of just like copying somebody else's idea or the foundation of their idea is it gets you
Mm-hmm.
out of the excuse if you just this person who just decide, look, I don't have no ideas or I don't know what I want to do, I don't know what I want to create. Well, find the idea that previously fascinated you and just improve on that idea. Now your excuses are gone. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
like I'm ready for all negative feedback. I know as I put out more content, I'm gonna attract more people who like it and more people who don't like it. So it's just about
Yeah.
making sure that you in your own lane. And I know you said your thing is like poetry and modeling. Like who can like what kind of negative comment can discourage you, bro? You in your lane doing what you love. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
even Jesus Christ was crucified, so it don't even matter if you're the most positive person in the world. Like, people are gonna
Yeah.
find a way to throw stones at you. So, by
Jesus
me understanding that,
was
What's that?
I said Jesus Christ never lied, still was crucified. I forget who said
And so like
that.
that just speaks, bro. It don't matter. It just don't matter. Like so, I
Yeah.
know a lot of people who are they let those comments in the comment section just pretty much dictate their lives. So that's the reason people aren't posting more. Like I've experimented, Jake. I've literally posted shit that I absolutely did not like, absolutely hated it, posted it, and it still impacted somebody. And when that happens,
Hmm.
I'm like, wow, dude, I got you got to let the market decide. Like you can't be the
Yeah,
critic. The
right,
market the
bro.
market gets the final
That's a
say so.
hmm that's a big thing, bro. Because I've kind of done the same thing. Is like for me, a lot of what I'm trying to do is I feel like I always think this is kind of hard or a little difficult for me to put into words. But fuck it, I'm gonna try it anyways. Like my generation, people graduating this year or whatever, like we're the first generation to kind of like when you think about inventions that have really shaped and changed the course of like humanity, like you think about like the telephone or like the railroad and the light bulb and like the automobile, like these are all like inventions that have changed the way we like use like and experience the world. I think the
Exactly.
internet is along the same lines of like
Absolutely.
the railroad because like I could DM some dude in China or like me and you right now. You're in Detroit. I'm in Austin.
Right.
All you did was DM me one day, and now boom, we're having a podcast right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's one of those things that's super. Uh, it's just changed so much. You know what I mean? And I feel like good and bad come with this. I
Absolutely.
think the good thing is this right here, this
Mm-hmm.
us having a conversation, us being able to really bounce ideas off each other. This is amazing. This is beautiful. But at the same time, I feel like there's so many kids
Mm-hmm.
and like people in general who don't really know how to do and use something like this. It's
Mm-hmm.
so new.
Right.
And I feel like we are like in a way, am I at all or no? Because I'm hearing like a on my end.
It's just a little bit. I got you connected to my Bluetooth speaker.
Okay,
I can
cool.
hear you for
There's
the most
a
part.
little bit. Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds good. But let's see. I feel like we could use a lot of mindfulness. You know what I mean? Like I feel like our generation of I want to make it cool in a way to meditate, and I want to make it cool in a way kind of like you day mind. And I feel like that's what I try to incorporate in poetry.
Mm-hmm.
If you read any of my like Instagram caption poetry that I've written, some stuff I've even just that just like helped me out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Mindfulness, you know. And so sometimes I'll hop on, I'll just talk for like it just depends, man. I'll talk for 20 minutes, an hour, or whatever it is.
Really.
And something that has really just hit me different. Instagram live, and I would talk for however long it was. It's mindfulness. I'd pick it up and I just elaborate off of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd start one point bullet, answer comments, whatever it is, and I'd save it for 4 hours so people could see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have people on my story, or I'll have people I never talked to swipe up on my story, or I'll have people Snapchat me, or hit me up, call me whatever they can, and just tell you, hey, bro, thank you so much for like what you did today. Like because of what you said, like whatever you talked about today, whether the topic was like mindfulness or be happy about why you should be grateful for what you do have, like whatever the topic. I'll have people hit me up and say, "Bro, because of what you said, out and I went to the gym today instead of staying home, or I went and talked to I wanted to talk to when I was too afraid to do that." And like that feeling was so different than
Yeah.
any paycheck I got from a job.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, dude. That is for me, just for me personally, that's the greatest feeling in the world, dude. That feeling of like knowing that you just gave something to somebody, for me, it's better than
Yeah.
sex, and it's not a lot of things better than sex, but that feeling alone gives me the absolute most fulfillment that I've ever felt. You know what I'm saying, throughout my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've had that experience at an early age, and that's when I decided that this is what I pretty much want to do with the rest of my life. Like, I want to be able to travel, go where I want, when I want to go. You know, have these
Mm-hmm.
speaking engagements, speak in front of crowds, answer some questions, and go live my life. You know, that's pretty much how I want to live the rest of my life. And I don't care if I die walking on stage. Look, I died doing what I love. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I could be 90 doing that shit, and I know it's gonna give me that same
Yeah.
fulfillment. You know what I mean?
There is a quote, and it says, "I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward."
For sure.
And what to me is like, I'd rather die doing what I love, die doing my passion. I'd rather die going out there and getting experience and really being actually alive, not just like I want to be living. Not
Right.
I feel like a lot of people are alive.
Literally, that's it.
Are doing their job. A lot of people are just doing their 9 to 5 daily routine, whatever it is, blah blah blah, and they're just kind of alive. They're not necessarily living. They're not like fulfilled with what they're doing. They're just kind of doing this thing because, and it's just like, bro, like that. I don't know how to say it other than just like I can't do that shit, bro, because like I've done that in a way. You know, like I've done the thing where it's just like school, work, and then just like that kind of thing. And I'll have adults like, oh, you know, you should enjoy right now because you're gonna have to work the rest of your life. That's what you should tell.
About the quote, it's not the happy people who are grateful. It's the grateful people who are happy. And what that means to me is where I live, bro. Like, you probably see a lot of like, okay, you've lived in Austin, and so like, depending on where you live, like you see different shit. Like, so you in Detroit, like you have a totally different experience to me living in Round Rock, Texas. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I go to school like with a bunch of kids who got a lot of shit, bro. Like a lot of shit, and they're not grateful for any of it.
Yeah.
That isn't everyone. This isn't all the kids who go to my high school. This isn't. I'm not trying to put everybody in a box, but there are certain kids who like will have so much, bro. And I mean more than materialistic things. They'll have like a good family and people who care about them, and they'll still be pissed off because like they didn't get a good grade on a test, or they didn't get what they wanted for their birthday or for Christmas. And I'm just like, bro, like you are unhappy because you're just not grateful for what you have in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean like when I remember, bro, like being so just like unfulfilled, like so just like unhappy to say the least, bro. Just like so like drained every day I woke up. This was like sophomore year. Sophomore year, bro, was like I'm just gonna be real with you. Like sophomore year was like definitely the worst year of my life, bro.
Wow.
Like that shit definitely sucked.
For sure.
And it was just because like it wasn't even anything that was like crazy going on. It was just like I wasn't taught about how I could be grateful for what I had now.
Yes.
Like
yes.
I wasn't taught about mindfulness. Like I was, you know, nobody taught me how to use like social media. I'm sitting there all day, you know, on my phone comparing myself to all these people.
Yeah.
How this dude's got all these girls. He's got this money. What do I have? You know, nothing. But subconsciously, I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah, it was just in it.
You just do it. You compare yourself to rappers. You compare yourself to models. You compare yourself to all this shit, bro. Who people you don't even know.
People you
don't even know their story.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a point where I was just like, bro, I can't do this shit no more. Like, I cannot live like this no more. I'm not living, bro. Like, I was simply existing. Like, I was just alive. And I was just like, but it just became normal to me. Like, it just became so, like, oh yeah, I wake up, I'm not fulfilled, I'm not happy. Sometimes I'll get some sleep. Sometimes I'm, like, stressing about some shit. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then I just, a long ass time, bro. For me, it was just like I was stuck in a loop for, like, 2 years or whatever, and I didn't know what was going on. And it was like, at one point, bro, it was just like, I don't want to sound like, oh, I had an awakening, but I just had this point to where I think, you know, whatever you believe in, God, the universe, whatever, pushed me to a point to where, like, I just kind of had to evolve in a way.
Yeah.
Like, I just kind of had to, like I can't be living this way no more. And if that means I gotta cut out people, if that means I gotta start hitting the gym more, I gotta get more active, I gotta put down my phone, I gotta get outside. And once I started doing these things, it was just like it was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
I started sleeping better, I started eating better, I started having more confidence. Like I could talk to girls so much easier, bro. Like because I didn't have all this dead weight carried around with me. And it just felt like, oh, I can't describe it, bro. It just felt undescribable how much my life had changed. And it wasn't because I got a bunch of money, and it wasn't because I started talking to this girl and whatever. It was just because, like, none of those things happened. Like, the same shit that was happening to me sophomore year, I was still going through junior year. My mindset changed, bro. And I felt like I could just take on anything, bro.